it's here to make sure we're doing everything. Hmm. Well, I will check back on that in a minute. Because my stream to my group is not going. Ah, oh well. Then I will just share it. So tell me where everybody is logging in from today. And tell me what the weather is like there because it is absolutely beautiful and I want to gloat a bit. Absolutely teasing too. There we go. Yeah, because I don't know why that doesn't want to work today. All right. Hey, look. All righty, tidy. We are set to go here. Let me turn off my volume. Absolutely gorgeous day. And I'm going to say it a little bit early, but happy Beltane, everybody, because woo, does it ever feel like Beltane energy right now? I mean, all of the upgrades and solar stuff coming in is just amazing. And it took a little bit of energy practice and, moving things around within my body to really like feel the flow today. And I'm like, "Hold on now." But that's okay. That's all good. Because, my friends, I have a quick question for you today. Have you ever hit publish on a post and then immediately wanted to crawl back under your blanket and ignore the fact that you ever even posted it? I mean, I really remember those days. Um, and you kinda justify it to yourself because it's not like you're gonna get, like, engagement beyond a few likes, right? So why even bother looking at what's happening on your wall or your page? Uh, and you don't even quite know how you got there, right? I mean, you wrote the post, you felt like it was good, it was where you wanted to be with it, and, like you felt good about it, right? And you told yourself that, like, "I'm showing up today, and I'm gonna write something really honest and really clear about what I do," and then you hit share, and you just kind of feel, like, drained or anxious or just kinda like, "Oh my god, what did I just do?" afterward. Oh, I've been there, and it's a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster until we can get out of and get you out of the misalignment maze. But drop a heart in the chat if you have ever felt that ugh moment after posting something that was supposed to feel empowering, right? And if your content has ever felt like that endless battle between efforting without any return and investment or even any joy, make sure your coffee or beverage of choice is refilled and get comfortable because spoiler alert, it's not your copy. Your online frequency has become distorted from all the coulda, woulda, shouldas, your witch wounds, and your conditioning. And by the way, hi, I am Lindsay Baldessano from Super Secret Powers, where we help healers, readers, and spiritual entrepreneurs lead with soul, build aligned success, and shatter that crystal ceiling in online in an online service business and in your life. through your unique magic and hearts. In short, I help you make your magic unforgettable and profitable. That is what I am here to do. And today we are talking about how to work through that energetic distortion in your brand message. So let's start with the symptoms, right? Because we have to know kind of like what we're talking about. Beyond just the general, like, I really hate posting content. It never feels good. It never feels right. It never feels aligned with me. Right? So, some of these symptoms. So, how to know if your brand frequency might be distorted from that fear, from that witch wound energy, from that place where you're just not in alignment with yourself for where you need to be with your brand and your business. So, you feel tired after posting or creating content instead of lit up, instead of excited because, you get to share something because it feels good. You second guess every sentence before you hit publish. And maybe not every sentence, but every concept of a post. Is this the tone I should be taking? Do I need to sound more pushy? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Like you're just constantly up in your head about what could be wrong. So, the third one is you keep over explaining what you do then and trying to make it make sense to more people and get it clearer and clearer, more precise, more clever, more creative. And you're just like you're stuck in your head. And fourth, and it might even be that your content feels technically fine. Like if we're talking about technical writing, like maybe you have all the details you need to have. Maybe you need to have where you're hitting on the pain points that people do have, and you have a product that other people also what's wrong because my content and my message and my products, my offers then just aren't moving anyone. Well, these aren't writing problems. These are energy problems and energy boundary problems. And they're signs that your message is being filtered through fear, performance, perfectionism, and or good old survival mode strategies. So let that sink in because it may not be what you're writing, but it could be more about why you're writing it. And when you are letting those things filter through how you're showing up online, your audience feels that dissonance, right? I mean, we are spiritual people and we are probably selling to spiritual people, whether they are entrepreneurs or not, they probably have that preference, right? So they're probably sensitive as well. And they might not be able to name it, but they're going to scroll right past. You might be pitching how you can help them find their passion in life, but you can't even rally your own energy in your own business, much less project in your content and in your brand and in your message anything that resembles passion. And yeah, they're gonna feel that. And, like, it's not that they won't like you. I mean, they know you're well-meaning. They might even think you might be good at what you do, like your modality, but they don't know if you can really hold their energy and their transformation because you aren't showing them the fullness of your work, your medicine, your heart, or your experience. You're just trying to sound like everybody else online. So, tell me in the comments, who here has ever written something and immediately thought Did I explain it enough? Did I say it right? Did I do it right? Did I get it all? Give me 8. Yes in the comments if you have, because I have certainly been there, right? So, so many coaches tell you that in order to make, like, really resonant, attraction-based kind of marketing copy, that you need to be clear, and, like, I have taken the courses. I have taken the courses where you go over and over and over your ideal client and all the pain points and this, that, and the other thing, and, it's not that I wasn't clear, and it's not that you aren't clear on what might be, like, quote, unquote, "wrong," um, 'cause I don't really see it as wrong, but, I mean, that's just the way we're kinda taught to think about it, um, but it can still fall flat no matter how much you dig into the pain points, no matter how much you try and explain how you know where they're coming from and, um, because you don't get to the heart of the matter, right? Because clear doesn't always mean connected. And you can follow all of the formulas to a T and still feel invisible online. Because if the frequency of your message is still being shaped by trying to be palatable or relatable or non threatening, you aren't speaking from your power. Okay? You're speaking from performance, and performance doesn't convert, it just exhausts you. It exhausts you. I mean, it can't exhaust your audience as well to a point where they start getting fatigued by a message that they know is kind of energetically off, and so they just kind of tune you out until, like, you fall off their algorithm, but it's exhausting to you. And the reason why the content never seems to feel good or flow or do anything for you and your business is because you're not showing up in that fullness of yourself. Because that is where your fuel and your fire actually live. They don't just live in your comfort zone. They don't just live in that place where you rolled out of bed and you got your coffee or tea or matcha and you're like, all right, what do I have to do today? What converts? Truth, real presence, resonance, frequency, fire, passion, that bigger energy than what you roll out of bed with. And on a side note here, I make sure that I keep repeating this point, that having an online brand does take consciously tapping into something larger and more eternal than showing up at a fair. And that is just because we're talking about 2 different marketing animals, and that's all. But you do need that bigger, more kind of universal, archetypal, big pattern energy in your business, and you need to be to embody where that kind of dovetails with where your magic and your mission lies. But what can but so tell me in the comments, really. Let's dig a little bit deeper into how we feel and maybe why we're feeling it. Have you ever felt that you're showing up clear, but maybe not connected? Tell me, give me yes in the comments because connection. Connection is the thing that sells, yes, but it really helps us step through that witch wound and the conditioning that we have and We're gonna get into that, but I just wanna make sure we're all on the same page here today. So those root causes, right? Those root causes about why we have an energetic distortion in our field and why we might need just that little bit of visibility alchemy to help shift things around is that, we're still carrying bits and we're still running into false evidence of these collective traumas, right? And they say that, like, if you speak too loudly, that you're gonna be judged. And it's not just like your mother-in-law judging you. I mean, there's that too, right, from the family. But oftentimes it's being judged unreasonably and unreasonably harshly, and not just by one person, but by groups. Like that whole, the whole cancel culture stuff. Nobody actually ever wants to be canceled. I mean, who puts themselves in that kind of position, right? Mm. The person who knows that their energy and their medicine and that their mission is too important to worry about that. It's too important to be brought down by that. Because the other part of that collective trauma, it says that, like, if you shine too brightly, somebody is always going to come along to try and dim you or take you down a peg or challenge your beliefs or your morality or your godliness. And it's just like slippery slope, your basic virtues of being human because you don't agree with them. And you had the audacity to go on your own Facebook wall and say something and stand for something. I mean, mm. I don't wanna show up for that energy at all in my life anymore, and I don't want you to. And the other thing it says, that collective trauma that it kind of reminds us and triggers us is, like, if you tell your own truth, you might not be safe because, well, factual history, right? But we are not living in the past. And the only way we write a different ending to any of that is by allowing ourselves to be ourselves in our power, okay? And Andrea is saying connection isn't measured by reaction, but by resonance. Yes, yes, yes. But when we're listening to those trigger points, when we're listening to those collective traumas, we're going to tone down our energy. We're going to say, maybe that isn't safe. We're going to soften our edges and say, maybe we shouldn't take such a strong standpoint. Like maybe I can believe it, but maybe that doesn't need to be in my business. And maybe not. I mean, that is fully up to you and how your brand needs to show up authentically. But, the ways we do it is we hide behind being professional or looking snazzy, by buying the templates and all the meme graphics and we use big words. We get lost in jargon from our spirituality niches and our modality niches. And even by letting AI do everything for us, because we haven't even begun to come to this point in our power and in our confidence where we can trust ourselves to direct AI to produce something even better because AI, people, it is just a tool. And yes, there are environmental impacts and all that, but you know what? It's the same infrastructure that we use for everything that happens on the internet, and we haven't tossed out the internet yet. Do we need better tech solutions? Yes. Do we need to really delve into how to use AI ethically as powerful human beings who use tools? Yes. All right. All right. But I think like the worst thing that happens when we are still stuck in this, but can I even charge for this? Are people going to take me seriously? Do I take myself seriously? Is that we give them, whoever it is, in your own mind, the power to stop us, the excuse we need to back down from what we want and what we want to see in the world. And we end up writing right around what we really want to say and what we really know needs to be said and put out there. And guess what? That survival energy is only going to leak deeper into your brand voice the more you feed it. And people can feel when you're shrinking or when you're playing nice to avoid any trolls or dissenters or anything weird or niggly happening in your business. And they can feel it. They can definitely feel it when you are standing in your leadership frequency. And even if you are the gentlest of healers by personality, your energy is still meant to be disruptive. And no, I don't mean loud. I don't mean harsh. I don't mean crass. I mean clear, resonant, true, and present with and for them and the greater mission that you that will disrupt their thinking. That will disrupt where their critical mind is going and maybe give them just the perfect opportunity to fall in love with your world. So I want you in the comments right now, I want you to claim it, right? I type something along these lines like, "Disruption doesn't mean drama," right? Or maybe something even shorter, "Disruption equals passion." Claim it for yourself and for your brand and for the standards that you wanna hold for your clients. So, we're talking about disruption, it means breaking a pattern with presence, not just performing, right? I mean, yes, some people can get out there on the internet and they can be all fuckity fuck and they can be like this, that, and the other thing. And maybe that is who they are. We'll have to, judge that individually. But that doesn't mean we have to buy into that stereotype for ourselves to be successful marketers, right? Because our beautiful, empathic soul presence is already disruptive. We just have to tune into it more so that we can get rid of some of these energetic distortions that are affecting our business, our voice, our tone, and how we are speaking with and to our ideal peoples. So, I mean, quick self check here. Are you creating content from validation or from truth? When you create from validation, are you trying to get people to approve of you? Are you trying like, do you have that feeling like, "Whew, I got away with that because nobody said anything that, um, disagreed with me?" But when you create from truth, you're al you're already rooted, you're already grounded in who you are and the energy that you need, and you are just letting the message move through you, right? In the comments, tell me, is it flowing or are you up in your head? I mean, let's get real and let's get honest here with where we are with this whole content creation process and being who we are, because that's going to make the difference, not just in, the return on investment for having to do all the content, but in you feeling good about the process, you feeling in alignment with the process, right? And when you kind of like, as we're sitting here and you're thinking about that, let me know in the comments. What shifts in your body? What shifts in your body when you're thinking about creating truth? It's a big question. And once you begin to follow, if you can follow those cues, like your whole business experience can change because we aren't meant to just pump out templates of businesses. Like all Reiki businesses have to say these things, and here's, my teacher's swipe copy, and like it's not an MLM. It is a beautiful soul business that creates impact and transformation for your people. And that transformation is, of course, very detailed, based on what your people want and who is it that you want to work for. But let me shift tones here just a little bit, right? Because you can't out strategize a brand that doesn't feel like you. And this is a trap that I feel like so many of us fall into. And when we start getting into that overthinking mode, Um, we want the quick fix. We want the bullets that, we want the Band-Aid. We want the thing that's going to get us through and make the next sale and just feel like, you know, so that we feel like not everything is, sinking or falling away and all that kind of stuff. But you can have the most formulated launch plan, the most formulated, cleverest content calendar or hooks on the internet, right? And you're still gonna be stuck in your mess. You're still gonna be stuck if your message is riding on a tone that is rooted in your power, in your truth, and can't just fall out of your mouth or be reflected in your energy because you know it and you feel it. How deep this business stuff has to go for us because we are these deep soul-rooted people. We're not building earbud businesses, right? We're building something much more magical, much more powerful. Our brands online have to lead with that because we don't have the benefit of having foot traffic like a brick and mortar would or sitting at a fair would. So we have to lead with something that is so big and so resonant because it's tapped into something so much more eternal and so much more powerful than just us. But we are the channels. We're always the channels that people see it and people react to it and it moves people and it moves people into and through our businesses, right? Your message has to sound like your truth. And your tone has to feel like your energy. That is when people lean in. That is when visibility becomes natural. That is when content doesn't just inform, but it invites that deeper connection between you and your clients and the medicine and the magic and the guides and the all of it that comes from a big, beautiful, easy exchange, right? The spiritual transaction of it all. So I want you to claim it in the comments today. Going forward, my energy is my strategy. All right? Type that in the comments for me. Really claim it for yourself today. Mm. So now, if this is landing, right, and you're realizing how and where your tone might be off and when your copy might be right, but that energetic passion and invitation just isn't there yet, I want to remind everybody here I have 2 spots open for my 3-month one-to-one brand incubator. It is called Align and Amplify. And in that program, we tune your soul signal so that you can build your brand frequency that finally feels like you, the big you, powerful you, the you that stands for something eternal and something beautiful and something beyond what people normally just experience, right? And it's not a performance, it's not a template, it's a transmission. It isn't just business growth, it's energetic sovereignty. It is full spectrum visibility. Those moments when your words and your presence end up saying more to somebody than what your words actually ever said. And it's finally feeling that your business loves you back because not only does it feel nourishing for you, but it is bringing in the boundaries and the support that you need in your life to make it all work. Not just the business, but to make the rest of your life work because now you are really stepping into this place where you can accept those easy transactions because you understand the value of your brand and your message and your mission, right? And it continues to build the rest of your dream life, whether that's, moving off grid or buying that van so that you can do the wanderlust van life or, whatever other big dreams you have. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I have to work my business. I have to make the next sale versus you're getting to be you and play at being you and having stability and money and joy, right? So align and amplify is where your soul signal becomes a magnetic, fully embodied brand and business foundation that is ready for everything that you are here to claim in your life, not just the business. I mean, that's just something then you get to do, and you get to do because it supports you. But it's $3,500. I only have, like, 3 spots max if someone feels if that extra person feels like, "I have to do this, it's now or never." Like, I have to step up and take center stage in my business or else it's never gonna happen, right? If you're in that place, there's only 3 spots. Um But from this one-to-one incubator, you are gonna walk away with a brand ready for you to hit the gas pedal because you have the message, the framework, the tech, the products, and the content creation process all ready for you to start bringing in your dream clients and your income and your dream life so you can get on with building the rest of your life and your growth outside of the lines, right? Because we don't do that here. And you also walk away with an in-depth brand guide for your business. You always have something to go back to reference that has all of our decisions in it so that you can tweak it as you eventually do evolve and grow because your brand is a living thing with you. And of course, will evolve and grow with you, but also so that you can, hire team members and then they have your brand guide, for their reference, and you can plug it into I'll plug it into a GPT for you because you're gonna get 3 GPTs, not because I want them to replace your sovereignty in your business, but because you need more time as a solo entrepreneur. Let's name some of the limits here. There's only so much time and energy you're ever going to have in your day, and the more help you can get to do it, the better. But with AI and with any productivity tool, what you put into it directly affects what you get out of it. So you can't just go to GPT and say, like, "Give me my content for a day, I'm a pet sitter," or "Give me my content for a day, I'm a Reiki person," and expect it to give you content that is really going to be compelling and resonant and truthful. We have to build the GPT that is going to do that for you from that very in-depth brand guide and all of those soul decisions we made that went into the brand guide, right? So this is just a whole process of giving you legs underneath your business that you can just run with and create more with and learn to grow with because it's who you are and it's where you want to be and you have finally heard and felt where you needed to be when you are speaking to your ideal client through your content and your message and your offers. All right. So if you are ready to stop circling your truth and success and start taking that center stage in your business, I invite you to either DM me a line or just type it in the comments in case you can't chat right now. And we're going to book a free brand alignment activator session, which is 30 minutes. And everybody in my business begins there. And we will tune into what's off in your business, what's working, and how to build your brand tone that actually holds and reflects your presence and your magic. All right. So in the comments, even if you don't want to book the session with me, in the comments, make that final claim of your energy for today and said, I am taking center stage in my business. All right. Just type that in the comments to claim it for yourself. And Andrea earlier said, like, the medicine is in the energy behind it. When the energy is clean, truth, and not proving, it moves mountains. Yes, and people it does the heavy lifting for you, and you don't have to take a persuasion selling method or class, or you don't have to, find the compelling copy, because once you understand what truth needs to be told through your brand, well, it just lights you up, and when you're lit up, that spark tends to ripple out and light other people up. But it has to be rooted in that connection to yourself and how you are connecting to your ideal client and how you want to build something that is going to take them on a deep and personal journey to get where they want to go. And we will figure all that stuff out and give it legs or give it wings. There you go. Give it wings so that you can fly with it. All right. All right. Um, yeah. All right, that is all I got for you today. Don't forget to leave me your golden nuggets and hit follow and or subscribe on whatever channel you're watching me on because today we're on a couple different channels. Um, but so that you can tune in next week or next time I am on for the Fulfilled Spiritpreneur show. Stay tuned, my friends.